Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we living. I don't do many videos with the camera close up to me, but I'm gonna do it for this one. So I'm gonna talk about my New York Knicks. Yes, they've won 4 games in a row. Let's talk about their young gunners, Chris and Nee, official state P representers. Got my Knicks hat, got my Obi Toppin, real name, no gimmicks. That's 2000s rap references. If you get it, you get it. But let's talk about 8 guys on their roster that are less than a quarter century spent on this earth and why it seems like it's a bright future ahead. I wish we could fast forward to the 2022-2023 season. It's been a disappointing year, but finally we're getting to see a lot of these young guys get ample time, and they've all been producing. So let's take a look. I'll be naming them in no particular order and just giving you reasons why you should be optimistic, especially about next season. Let's start with the guy whose jersey I'm wearing, Obi Toppin. He turned 24 on March 4th. His last 5 games in 25.4 minutes per game, 14 points a contest, 5.8 rebounds per game. All 5 games in double-digit scoring, shooting 64.4% from the field, 41.2% from deep. We know he struggled mightily from downtown for most of the season, but again, he was playing 10 minutes a game, if that, some games. So he seems to be a lot more in rhythm while getting some good amount of minutes. Randall missed a few games. He started, even with Randall back. Tibbs has been giving him playing time, and he has been producing. Let's talk about Emmanuel quickly. He turns 23 on June 17th. So since February 16th, an 18-game span in 25.7 minutes per game, 46.2% from the field, 42.5% from deep, 4.8 free throw attempts a game, 14.9 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists on nearly a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Had a very slow start to the season and has been much better of late. Miles McBride turning 22 on September 8th. He is a plus 122 in his 327 minutes playing for the Knicks NBA roster. He's put up some awesome numbers in the G League, has not been able to replicate those at the NBA level. His shooting percentages have not been good at all, but he's done the little things that the stat sheet doesn't necessarily pick up. He's been a solid defender. He could be tenacious on the defensive end, and it seems like when he's on the court, the Knicks do quality things. Mitchell Robinson, he's turning 24 on April Fool's Day. His last 13 games, he is averaging 5.5 offensive rebounds per game. Kind of reminiscent of Tyson Chandler, right? That 2012-13 season was an offensive rebounding machine. He was the king of tapping it out. Mitchell Robinson, a lot of his offensive rebounds turn into dunks or easy layups. 2.6 blocks per game in those last 13 games and 1.3 steals per game. It's not like he's playing a ton of minutes either. 26.3 minutes per game and still putting up those numbers. Jericho Sims turning 24 on October 20th. He's averaging 5.5 boards his last 16 games. That's in 16.6 minutes per game. That would prorate to 12.4 boards a contest per 36 minutes. Just a high-energy guy. Quentin Grimes, unfortunately, has missed the past few games with injury, but he turns 22 on May 8th. He's been a quality three-point shooter, shooting 38.9% from deep on the season on 4.1 attempts per game. R.J. Barrett turns just 22 on June 14th. So since New Year's Eve, that's a 37-game span. RJ is averaging 24.1 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He has 9 games of at least 30 points, including a 46-point outing against Miami. He's starting to look like he could be an alpha on a good team. And last, Cam Reddish. He turns 23 on September 1st. Unfortunately, he's been out with a separated shoulder, won't return this season. He did have his best game as a Knick his second to last game prior to getting hurt. 17 points on March 6th. Also had 8 free throw attempts in that game. Of course, when the Knicks first traded for him, he wasn't a part of the rotation, but had become, and he was starting to play with a lot more confidence. So just those 8 guys. Again, all less than 25, and just giving the Knicks a young core to be excited about. The Knicks have just made so many bad draft picks over the years that it's just awesome that we have this young core to look forward to. Hopefully, they re-sign Mitchell Robinson. Out of all those guys, Mitchell Robinson will be the only one that is a free agent in the upcoming offseason. I really hope they pay the man. As you could see, 5.5 offensive rebounds per game. One of the league's best shot blockers. A lot of people say he could be limited on offense, but honestly, if we could give him a above average point guard, I could almost see him being a Lob City DeAndre Jordan. Maybe not quite the bulk of DeAndre Jordan, but just producing those numbers that DeAndre produced in the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin days with the Clippers. So what do you guys think? Which of these guys are you most excited for the Knicks' future? What do you expect? I mean, if anything, these guys are increasing their trade values, right? If we can get a superstar in the offseason, these guys are increasing their trade values. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just kind of tired of Julius Randle's body language of late. I don't know if you saw the end of the game last night where they beat the Bulls. Just throws the ball away at the end of the game and walks off, doesn't celebrate with his teammates. His body language is just piss poor at the moment. But again, this young core of Knicks, very exciting. I'm looking forward to see him the next however many years. I'm looking forward to see what kind of player RJ Barrett develops into as he fully reaches his prime. But let me know, which guys would you not trade regardless of, who we could potentially get? There's been rumors of Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if Utah wants to trade him as of now, but we shall see. Again, it's unfortunate that the Knicks waited this long to allow some of these guys to play these minutes. Thibodeau was stubborn. Finally has given in and playing these guys more, and they've produced. 4-game winning streak, but we're 5 games out of the playoffs with just 6 games remaining. 5 games out of the play-in. So we're not going to get in. If we were in the West, we have a better record than the Lakers right now. But, unfortunately, that's how the cards have been dealt. But again, even though our season's basically done, it's been fun watching the Knicks the past few games, and I'm definitely looking forward to the 2022-2023 season, and hopefully we can add another piece in the draft that could be a future part of Knicks' good teams. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Hit that like button, share button, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.